So, Ghanaian president is trending in Nigeria. Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama made a statement at the African Heritage Awards 2026 in Accra, Ghana last week. In his remarks, he highlighted the deep interconnections between Nigeria and Ghana, describing Nigeria as cousins and stressing that Nigeria's stability is of key security interest to Ghana and the broader West Africa region, not just Ghana, broader West African region as well. He framed his comments as a prayerful expression of concern for regional well-being rather than criticism or hostility, noting that a prosperous Nigeria benefits everyone. This is what he said, I quote, "We want Nigeria to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting to a small country like Ghana. Every day I pray to God, let Nigeria get their act together." He elaborated, Nigeria is of key security interest to us. When you have cousins like 250 million of them, you want them to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting towards a small country like Ghana. That's why every day I wake up and pray for Nigeria that God should help them get their act together. If Nigeria does well, Ghana does well. The statement quickly went viral. This is the video of his statement at the Africa Heritage Awards last week.
Nigeria is of keen security interest to us. If Nigeria does well, Ghana does well. I mean, when you have cousins, 250 million of them, you want them to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting towards a small country like Ghana. So every day I wake up, I pray for Nigeria. I say, God, let Nigeria get their act together. And so I remember when a lot of the people in Ghana migrated from Nigeria. They find their roots from the Yoruba kingdoms and all that. And so the Ghana people and all, migrated from Nigeria. And so
after the statement, Nigerians on Twitter, TVC pundits, they were at the top of it. This is what the TVC pundits had to say. I think there was a Ghana representative there who also had to defend John Mahama's statement.
His message was clear. When Nigerian shakes, the Ghanaian region feels it. And so, do you think that this was genuine concern, or is it a hard truth that Nigeria perhaps needs to confront? Let's have a look at what you had to say about this on social media. Chale, Mayegun of The Source says, we appreciate the prayers, but let's be real. Nigeria is an engine. When we move, the whole continent feels the vibration. We don't run, we expand. Even with our challenges, Nigeria's economy still influences the entire region. We'd rather fix our home and keep the doors open for our neighbors, as we have always done. Patriotic. Jackie UTD says, they are telling us to secure our country or else Ghana is not ready to accommodate Nigerians. Finally, Emmanuel Jacobs says, South Africa is pushing back. Now Ghana is stepping into. And yet we still act like we're exempt. The world is paying attention to our migration struggles, not our strengths. And we still think that leaving is the only answer. It is time we start building and fighting for Nigeria instead. I second that motion, Emmanuel. Team, very interesting dialogue here. We've long hoped for a very united Africa. We have a Pan-African dream, if you will. But it seems that each African country, West African country, is facing their own distinct struggle. A lot of Nigerians had, they did not like what President Mahama said. They felt that it was disparaging, but some other Nigerians felt that he was tackling, a very serious problem that Nigeria is having currently, migration issues, especially with our population and the size of Ghana should anything happen. Etoma, dissect this for us.
Well, the Pan-African dream is still a dream, it's not a reality. So each country stands alone. And what the president of Ghana said connotes that Nigeria is so troubled that maybe we'll have to degenerate into civil strife, because the kind of migration he is saying he's afraid of happens when there's a war, But Nigeria, here we are saying that the ADC should put their acts together, and we have the president of Ghana saying that Nigeria as a whole should put its act together. Well, Mr. President, we are not anywhere near a war, so that kind of migration, I don't think it will happen anytime soon.
All right, if you ask me, I'm not going to speak from any bias because you guys already know my affiliations with Ghana, but what President John Dramani Mahama was basically trying to say is, you know, we should fix Nigeria rights. Now, I tell you, this is a man that has a lot of ties with Nigeria. I mean, his best friends with Mr. Dele Mahmoud. Just before the election, you know, in Ghana, he was in Nigeria to meet big wigs in Nigeria. He met with Adenuga and a couple of, you know, Nigerian big wigs. He loves Nigeria. He's always spoken great about Nigeria. And even in Ghana, we are very accommodating to Nigerian. He's not saying that Nigerians don't come to Ghana, because of course it will happen. But what he's saying is that with the current insecurity, and I was saying the other day, when I say all these insecurity stories on TV, my people call me back at home that, Ria, are you safe? Because they now feel like it's not just in the rural areas, it has gotten everywhere. So I get where he's coming from, that, you know, we're hearing all the news, Jos Plateau, everything happening. So we need to fix, you know, Nigeria so that we don't have people rushing into Ghana. But not saying that people cannot come into Ghana, people cannot go out of Ghana, because he's a very big fan of Nigeria. So I know that that is truly what he meant. But social media will always twist it to something else. But John Mahama truly loves Nigeria.
Or rather, he acknowledges the fact that Nigeria is a giant. When Nigeria sneezes, every other country, not just within the Western bloc, every other country catches cold, and that's the reality. He knows that there are so many Ghanaians in Nigeria as there are in different other countries. And if anything happens in Nigeria, Ghana is just about 39 million persons. Nigeria is about 230 or more. So he knows that when people, the Ghanaians in Nigeria, when they come back to Ghana, it might be a problem, because currently Ghana is not all rosy. Let's face the fact.
But it's getting better.
Yes. So as a matter of fact, even the supply, the energy supply, 5,000 megawatts, there's something they call Dumso in Ghana, on and off.
But Dumso is off now. There's no Dumso
on
anymore.
and off. It's still been there. The issue of food security is still been there. Even Ghana CD to the US dollar, there's still, food inflation is still very high. So he knows the trouble. If Nigeria does not stand strong to hold the Ghanaians in Nigeria, they don't want Ghanaians to come back, and then they'll have much more trouble.
But just to add something really quick, Olamide, Dumso, there was an era where there was Dumso, but right now there's no Dumso in Ghana again. But also to state this fact, I need people to understand that this is not what he meant. He loves Nigeria. This needs to be put out there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and if Ghana is truly, you know, our cousins, family members tell each other the truth. What I enjoyed about this interaction is the fact that I saw Nigerians being very patriotic and defensive about our country.
Matter of fact, we saved Ghana when Ghana was in trouble.
Thank you so much, Chale Ibrahim. Thank you.
But what I didn't like about one of the guys that was speaking as a pundit in TVC is how he tried to make it political. That they are saying ADC should put their ass together, then Ghanaian president is saying Nigeria should put their ass together. What has ADC got to do with what the Ghanaian president said? ADC is not the one, I believe ADC is not the one sponsoring terrorism in Borno, in all the states we have in the north. So everyone in Nigeria knows that Tinubu owns TVC. So you won't be surprised if TVC pundits, newsmen or whatever, if they defend this government, defend Nigeria, until Tinubu is no longer in power. Maybe an Hausa man becomes president, like we have the time of Yaradua and the likes. So you will see their view on political matters. It will change drastically. So it's not in the right place for them to make it look political. Yes, as a person, I don't think I love the statement that Ghanaian president made. He don't just come out as a president saying that you are praying that Nigeria should get their ass together. Now you should have ended there. But for you to say 1 million of them coming to Ghana is an insult. It's an insult to Nigeria. And that's how I feel. This is what this guy said. Dear Ghanaians, we are sorry. This television channel belongs to our drug baron President Tinubu. Majority of Nigerians agree with President John Mahama. This other guy says, secure our borders, tackle illegal migration, and let everyone mind their business. ECOWAS is a scam. Nigeria struggling doesn't automatically make Ghana stable. Both economies can be under pressure at the same time. This other one says, there stay Domso in Ghana. Who told you it's ended? So Domso, I don't really know what that is. So this guy is revealing that there stay Domso in Ghana. So I think Domso in Ghana is an irregular and unpredictable electric power supply, or a power outage or grid collapse. So that is what Ghanaians call it, Domso. But the lady insisted that Domso is over. Some Ghanaians online said there is still Domso in Ghana. A comment about Nigeria doesn't erase Ghana's own economic realities. Both truths can exist together. If Nigeria sneezes and West Africa shakes, that's influence, not necessarily strength. Most Nigerians seem to only perceive negativity when someone speaks about them. They fail to recognize the good wishes and prayers people offer. Is it because most of them create content or enjoy provoking and upsetting others? We don't want his prayer. We have a lot of praying people in Nigeria. We don't want Ghanaian president. That is to me is a condescending statement. It's a condescending statement. It's a statement made out of I don't know the right words to put it. We don't want his prayer. He shouldn't even have said it. If he had said that he is praying for Nigeria to overcome these insecurity issues, that would have been better. But for him to go at length to say that he's praying that 1 million Nigerians don't come to Ghana is an embarrassment. This other one said, I'm surprised at this lack of comprehension. What the Ghana president said. What the Ghana president said is actually an admission of the power Nigeria has in the Africa. And who doesn't know that if Nigeria gets it right, it will have ripple effect over the entire Africa. Shame they misconstrued it. Oh, okay, then please tell your people to go back Nigeria then. This other one said, they are not entirely wrong. Domso has been creeping back lately, and food prices are a whole issue on their own. There is food insecurity, high inflation rate in Ghana. He's not talking about it. And Naira, as of today, still has purchasing power than Ghanaian cedi. These are the things we should be discussing. This other one said, none of you listen to the TV pundits like you put it. And like one of them said, social media will always twist things out of context, and you all did not beat that. Nigeria is in shambles because of terrible leadership. That's the truth. Do not let a politician own TV station to gaslight you. Mahama's statement was reckless, knowing that next year is an election year and the opposition is eager for a message to rally around. Definitely, Nigeria is a regional hegemony where is soft power or smart power. Where is soft power or smart power affects the entire sub-region. Its economic stability will reduce migration into other cross-border nations, and this won't lead to insecurities and economic strength. Let me know what your opinion is regarding what the Ghanaian president said. To me, he should have ended it by praying for Nigeria to defeat insecurity, tackle insecurity and overcome it, than saying you don't pray that 1 million of them coming to Ghana. Ghana is 30-something million people. Nigeria is 230-something million. So how many Nigerians are in Ghana? How many Ghanaians are in Nigeria? So it's just a reckless statement for me. We don't need his prayer. He should pray for Ghana to overcome Domso. There is still great collapse in Ghana. That's the reality. Last week he was trying to he gave out tricycle for health workers, and the opposition accused him of giving tricycle as an ambulance, so he needed to come out and defend it. We are not even talking about that. So he should just face the government, face his own government, and don't make provocative statement against a country that is far, far better than Ghana.